Hello and welcome to Pop Snitch Pod. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Brandon.
And we are finally back after a long hiatus. But before we get into why that is, we need you, if you would like to help us, to stop what you're doing right now and write us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. And please, please, please follow us on YouTube. I feel like those are the easiest ways to help get this out. And we really appreciate all of you who already have.
And we plan on reading these on the air. So if you have something funny to say or something that you think would make it, especially fun for us to read, be sure to add that. That'll be a lot of fun for everyone.
Yeah. And we can't read them until they're there. So, get writing.
And even if you want to hate on us in the review, as long as it's 5 stars, we will read it. So
that's true.
Keep that in mind.
We have a good sense of humor, so it'll be fine.
Yes.
All right. You want to clue everybody in on what we've been up to the last 2 weeks?
Oh my gosh. So when did this hiatus begin?
The last time we recorded, we had just gotten back from Barcelona.
Oh,
and
my
then
gosh.
You went home, and then I went to Maine, and then last week.
Well, there's several things. Like I said, we've both been traveling on opposite schedules, so we're never in the same place. And granted, we record as if we're not in the same place every week, even though we are in the same place. But it just did not work out. I didn't have internet at one of the places that I was at that I thought I would. I was at home with my family, and it just didn't. There was never a great time. And so we're back now. We also weren't watching anything, which was also proving to be problematic, which is why we've also talked about changing the format of this show so we don't have to be watching something in order for us to do a show. So we're all talking about that. But needless to say, we're back now. We're excited to be back in your ears and excited to talk about what's going on in the world and also what's going on Love is Blind UK, which is the show that we've landed on.
Well, and I watched Big Brother. I'm all caught up on Big Brother and like the Cheatmance.
Well, so am I. So we can talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I also, last week I was sick. There's something going around New York City. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a strain of COVID or what. It's like where a day or two you feel like you're going to die and then you're fine.
We were talking about this at work. Every single person at work is dealing with these same things, like inexplicable allergy symptoms, waking up completely drained from the moment you wake up, like
pressure,
insane pressure and sneezing all day. There's definitely something. I think there's something going around. And I also think that the fall allergens are also worse than they've ever been.
Yeah. I mean, I woke up last week and my feet were swollen with hives on the bottom, which was fun. I felt like I had 2 club feet that I was dragging around. And then my lip got really swollen. And I went to urgent care thinking that they'd give me like a shot. And they were like, oh, here's a 5-day pill that you need to take. And it's going to tear your stomach up and make you feel like you have a fireball in your gut. And
well, last night I'm laying in bed.
How dare you?
I start hearing
How dare you?
What?
I know what you're doing.
No. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going in a different direction. But I start hearing these noises coming from next to me. And they, to me, they sound like an injured animal or dog.
Oh,
and so I start looking around the room, because we're dog sitting for a dog named Brisket.
She's right here. She's so cute.
If we're approved, I'll put her picture in the show notes. But I'm thinking Brisket's falling off the bed because she's a dachshund and they have like back problems if they fall off the bed. She's
got a little slide.
I'm looking around
the side of the bed.
And little do I know, it's Rachel. And I don't even think she was aware she was making noises, but she was like,
it woke me up out of a dead sleep.
And I'm like, hey, are you okay? She wakes up and she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And in her sleep, she was moaning.
I told you I was hurting.
The stomach pain. And I'm like, gosh almighty, what is happening here? What is it that you're on for the prednisone? Yeah.
Oh
Steroids.
Yeah.
Steroids be messing with the hot girl stomach.
It's tough. It's tough out in these streets. And I feel like ever since I turned 35, my body was like, what if we just did weird stuff?
Oh, I can agree.
What if you broke all your bones and then just had weird allergic reactions just all the time? You got hives inexplicably.
I mean, you sent me, well, first of all, you have refused to always send me any kind of spicy pic on,
God.
via text message. I've always advocated for this, but you've denied
A text
me.
message? No, that's great. That's not
You've
getting
denied
out.
me. Okay, we get it.
You
don't
can
have
see
to-
it at home.
Okay, you've denied me.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is, you did not refrain from sending me your blown up feet, a feet pic of your literally like allergic reaction, blown up, bloated feet.
Mm-hmm.
You sent that without a thought.
Yeah.
And the
No,
truth of
that's
the
fine.
matter is, I could probably put that on the internet and make a pretty penny.
I would love for you. Actually, I would love for you to try. If you can make a penny, I will be surprised.
Oh, let me
If you
tell
could-
you.
You know what? I want you to set a goal, like a lofty goal. And if you hit that goal, then I'll send you a pic.
Okay, so what? Okay, you're putting it out there now. Don't challenge me. I will get onto the recesses of the internet. Your feet will be all
Nobody
over
wants
Reddit.
to see my hives on
I
my
can't
feet.
wait. I'm so glad I saved the pic too, because let me tell you, that thing is going on the internet and we are going to get some change for it. I'm going to like blur it and be like, if you want to see the real pic, send daddy $50.
I'm sorry, you're calling yourself daddy
If I
in
can
this
get
situation?
$50, okay. If I can get $50,
No, 50
for
bucks
it.
is not enough. That's not
How-
impressive.
$50 is a lot.
You're out here saying you can make so much $50.
50 for one feet pic?
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like to go over $50, you gotta give me multiples. So what is the number then?
I don't know. We'll come back to this.
No. We're solidifying this. What is the number?
I was thinking 1,000.
$1,000? Whose feet do you think you have?
I thought the point was that they look wretched, and you think people are into that.
$1,000?
Yeah. Listen,
I don't
you
think
can get on
Margot
TikTok.
Robbie could sell a picture of her feet
You can
for
get on
$1,000.
TikTok. You can do whatever campaign you need to do.
If I could make $150 from it, would that be worth it? Okay. All right.
We'll see.
All right.
Hey, this
Here's
could be
a
a new
challenge.
income stream.
Any freaks out there, contact me.
Anybody want to see my hideous feet when
At
they are
Pop
swollen?
Snitch Pod. Hit me up in the DMs before she deletes them.
Well, listen, this is what we're doing. We're out here. We came out as recession babies in 2007, 2008.
This
We
is the
are seeing the
content that the
signs.
people want. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, this is going to drive a whole new audience.
We need some additional funding streams. Like these jobs, they don't look good.
So here's
I'm scared.
here's another thing. Okay. So for the first time in the last 2 weeks since we've been on here, I have tried a new product that is in my mind, in the same vein of life change as my intro to the bidet several years
guess?
ago, the pimple patch.
Yeah.
I
told you.
When I was a kid, I had horrendous acne.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I had normal child acne.
Yeah. You had like teenage acne, like a T-zone.
I went to a doctor who has since lost their license.
Oh my God. I didn't realize that.
And they prescribed me Accutane.
They
Now,
tried to give everyone Accutane when we were in high school.
Barely had acne. Okay. But I thought what I was promised was this is the miracle cure.
Dude,
You'll never have
it had
acne
to make
again.
You crusty.
All right. So I have never, when I tell you the worst acne that I had was like the occasional guy right here, you know. And
Why
I
were
was
you
like,
not just putting some Clearasil on that?
well,
and
I
calling it a
was,
day?
but I go to the doctor and I said, I've been having some, he's like, do you have any issues? And I think I just said like, well, I have actually been having some pretty bad breakouts, which I had. I was 12.
You were only 12? I thought you were like a teenager when this happened. You were in high school.
Yeah.
You're
12,
okay. You're not
13.
12 in high school, babe. You were really bad at math.
No, I was in middle school, I think. I don't think I was in high school.
It's like 13, 14?
Or no, I was in high school. So I was in probably
I think you were like 15. Yeah.
Ninth grade. Whatever ninth grade is. Okay.
Yeah, you're 15.
So I was having this acne. And they put me on Accutane. And it nearly killed me.
Quite literally.
It literally nearly killed me. I was bleeding out of my nose to a level that, because they tell you like the inside of your nose will get cracked. You might have a nosebleed. I was pouring blood out of my nose every single day. I went into the doctor. They said that all of my blood work was bad. I had to go off of it. But this medicine took my acne that I was experiencing, which was just few little whiteheads every now and again, to full on grotesque, explosive cysts on my face.
Oh my God.
Absolutely horrible. Anyway.
Everyone I know had that experience. Their famous line was like, it's got to get worse before it gets better. We got to bring all the toxins to the surface.
Never
I'm like,
take
what?
Accutane. Never.
You know what you should have taken? You know what I took for mine? Birth control. Worked like a charm.
I would have taken it. I would have given it. So all this to say, a couple of months ago, Rachel starts walking around the house and I'm like, what do you have on your face? And there are these little stars just in little
I have been wearing
spots.
them for like 3 years anytime I get a bump.
I had not seen it. And I just,
you know what though? I had done the clear ones. So I think that's why.
Maybe that's why. But yeah, now these little stars and I'm like, oh, what are those? She's like, oh, they're pimple patches. And I had seen stuff on TikTok and stuff of certain ones. And I was like, is that even real? I don't know about that. And sure enough, one night I started getting this bump on the side of my face and she gave me one, put it on there, woke up the next morning, completely gone. Mm-hmm. This week I had like the first really big zit of probably a couple of years.
Of your 40s, for sure.
And it was blowing up and I literally had Rachel looking at it and I was saying like,
you thought it was skin cancer.
Yesterday
you think
I was like,
cancer.
Is this skin cancer? She's like, no, that is a bump. That's
I'm
what
not a dermatologist, but that looks like a zit.
Last night, I put this thing on there, and I will let you see. I mean, this was disgusting. It was gigantic yesterday. Now it is a little red dot. After one night.
It was swollen yesterday.
It was gigantic.
Like under the skin, and now it's just like...
Gone. I mean, pretty much gone, little red dot. Mm-hmm.
It'll be gone probably tomorrow.
And when I tell you, it's life-changing. I mean, if I would have had this when I was a kid, no one would have ever even known that I had acne.
Well, the kids wear them like to school and stuff. Like when they have a bump, they just stick
it like
all
day
a cute
today.
one.
And mine, the one that I had is the exact same color as this shirt, so it looked like I was accessorizing.
I know. I told you when we walked outside, I was like, you do know that's still on your face. I think it's fine if you keep it there, but I don't know if you think it's fine if you keep it there.
I'm unshamed now. If I have one, I'm wearing the star.
Yeah, I like the star. I had like a similar thing, like one that was like with my cycle. You get like under the skin bumps, like around the side of your jaw or your whatever. And so I had put like over some that were starting, I had like a cluster of 3. And there's this guy at the dog park who's older. He's probably like 50s, 60s. And he's like, I don't know if you know this, but you have like a lot of stickers on your face. I'm like, no, I know. They're pimple patches.
I'm all about normalizing this.
Yeah, it's like
this kind of thing now. It's like, I want this to be gone. I can wear this for the day and maybe somebody
it looks better than like a gross sit.
God, yeah.
Who cares?
I'm wearing them.
Yep.
They're out
wearing
there
them.
now. I'm wearing them all the time. I don't care. I'll wear them every day. I might just start sporting one right here, like a little, what do you call it? Like a little birthmark, beauty mark.
Beauty mark. There it is. I'm going to start sporting one like a little birthmark.
Little birthmark.
Well, I'll tell you what hit me this September that hasn't hit me now in like 3 years. And that was the idea of teaching again. This year, I like actually miss the classroom. And here's one reason why. New York State has taken away cell phones from the kids, and it is working. I checked in with my teacher friends, and they are like, the campus is like unrecognizable. The kids, it differs like school to school, but they're all putting their cell phones like in those little baggies that you do, like when you go to a show and you're not allowed to watch and someone else has to open it for you. And they're like, they're like reading for fun. They're engaging in the lesson. They're able to finish things. And I was like, oh my God, do I need one of those like during the day?
I mean, no, I mean, there's something to be said about like going into your place of work and surrendering your phone.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I need mine for work, especially if I'm like out and about, which is so annoying. But I wish that like I did not. Like as an adult, I wish I could just like drop it somewhere and not have to worry, like not have to be responsible, not need to find my way somewhere. Like I hate it. I'm getting so sick of it. And the more that I scroll on like TikTok, Instagram, all these places, the more I'm like, this isn't even real. Like it all feels so like ragey and crazy, and I'm just like, I'm done with it.
Well, and there's also like a level now that I think about even more. It's like, I don't know if this is like just a millennial thing of me or what, but like, I also am starting to value my privacy so much more.
Well, because now it's gone.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's like, I just don't want in every situation that I'm in. I mean, it's not that I have something to hide or I'm participating in something nefarious or that I wouldn't want people to know about.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't want every single instance of my life to be possibly recorded or, or just being recorded when I don't know it or somebody else having a phone.
Well, baby, I got news for you.
Well, no, when we were at Lady Gaga,
oh, yeah.
when we went backstage. Now, she wasn't coming down there or anything, but they still took all of our phones because they were just like, everybody who's going to be down here, we're just entering into an agreement that we're not going to be filming each other and like, and all
nice.
that. And I was like, that's actually just a really nice way of putting it.
It's a relief. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
to
like,
not feel like you're going to be filmed doing something embarrassing or just sitting there. Yeah. I always feel like that on the train. Like someone's going to take a picture of me or a video and I'm just minding my business and suddenly I'm like a meme or someone's making fun of me all over the internet. That's my nightmare.
No, I hear that.
I don't know. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of everything being online. It's like ruining everyone's brains in a really scary way. And I don't like it. And I don't like that I'm being like monitored. It's great. Like after the events of last week, which we don't have to go into detail about, people are getting fired for their responses to things online. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Like people are way too online. Everyone needs to go touch grass and relax and talk to people instead of screens for just a little while. I mean, it's like people have gone berserk.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really talk about it without talking about it, but it is really interesting. Like everybody's, I mean, this even goes back to like one of the huge things on social media that has a huge hold is this idea of free speech and like protecting free speech and me being able to say whatever I want without like any kind of repercussions or anything like that. And the truth of the matter is that like it's so weird to see somebody talk about free speech in one hand and then denying someone's speech.
Constant, yeah.
On
denying them employment.
Yeah, and it's not one side or the other. Like it's this back and forth. Like I think everyone is suffering from this. I even see it in my own like desire sometime to silence people. I'm like, it's just such a weird vibe.
Well, it's become so normalized since 2020. Like for the past 5 years, people have been getting doxxed for political opinions left and right constantly. And it's so dangerous and so scary. And I'm just like, is it even worth it at that point? Like it's going to push creators and people who have interesting things to say completely out of that and just be like AI slop and like rage bait. That's what I fear is going to happen to social media moving forward. I don't know what it's going to morph into, but I don't like where it is right now. Right now, I can like barely stomach going through mine. I'm like, this is just crazy.
Well, doxing is very, very scary.
I know. Because like, especially if you're like us, like you rent or something and someone doxes you, what are you going to do? It's not like you can install stuff to like have extra protection. Well, let's shift gears since we're already talking about Big Brother-esque things, feeling like everyone's spying on us.
Right.
We can talk about Big Brother. And I think like the biggest shift of the game, they had all these newbies and they brought in Rachel Riley, who is iconic. I remember her season was one of the first ones that we watched together.
I think that was the first one I've ever watched, the one where she won the first time.
Yeah, and she and Brendan fell. I'll never forget her sitting on that banana, like holding on longer than everybody else while stuff was spewing all over them and being like, wow, she is absolutely incredible at this game.
Fueled by rage.
Yeah, and I relate to that. So, and she has my name. But she won that one. She went back on and she won a different one.
It was All Stars.
All Stars, yeah. And then she played again. So this was just another time for her to come back. But this was the first time she's come back on her own. And that woman did not touch the block, which is crazy to me. But they took her out in like a very weird competition that did not have all the safety nets of like a veto and whatever that other stupid thing they're doing
Which is so crazy that they've been giving everyone the opportunity to not only beat the veto process, but then have another chance to beat it. And then they take Rachel out with a surprise competition that somehow you have no rescue from. You can't have, there's no voting, no nothing. You're just gone.
Well, they think that she's the, what's that guy called? Mind something. I don't know.
Oh,
the guy,
no, the weird mastermind or whatever.
Mastermind. They think that she's the mastermind, which is possible, I guess. She's in the jury now, but like also somehow doing like appearances and interviews, which I've never seen anyone from the jury do, which is interesting.
Ugh, I hope that's not true.
But yeah, so that's possible. But now the biggest thing for Big Brother right now that I'm following, the gameplay has been absolutely atrocious. I dislike so many people on the cast that I'm just like, what are we even doing? These people are, one, not interesting. Two, they are such Big Brother fans that they are somehow not playing the game. There's no like clear alliance. Like it's just bizarre.
For those of you who don't watch the show, like essentially what Big Brother is it's essentially like the real world. It's all these people in one house, and then they're shut off from the world for like 90 days. It's like one of the longest. It's one of the longest ones, and they're stuck in this house. They don't have TV. They don't have phones. They don't have anything. It's just basically sitting in these houses with these people, and at the end of each week, one person gets voted off by the house. There are games that you can rescue yourself. The head of household, who is like kind of the leader for the week, wins that in a competition, and then nominates people to go on a block. And from that chopping block, somebody goes home, essentially.
Right.
And so that's the whole point of the game. And the reason they call it Big Brother is because there are cameras everywhere, and they're being filmed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can go online and watch the cameras in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, it's one of the most interesting.
Your mic is going in and out.
It's one of the more interesting shows out there, but yeah.
So yeah, they're being watched constantly, and there are people who watch it. I mean, it comes on 3 days a week, so it's kind of like Love Island in the way that it's always on. But there are people who literally watch the live feeds all day and then do like little summaries. So I watch their summaries on TikTok. And what's happened is that one of the players that I really dislike, Vinny, who has a final two with quite literally everyone left on the cast, and just lies to everyone constantly. Ava's the only one who's clocked him. And he has this girlfriend back home. Now, his biggest thing when he was coming on was that he's been trying to get on Big Brother for 10 years. He lives at home with his parents and works at a video or a record store. And he is just this little tiny thing, always wearing a beanie, always wearing flannel. It's still 2010 to him. And he's just whiny. Someone put him on the block and he quite literally cried. And I was like, everybody else has been on the block. Get a grip. So he has a girlfriend back home, apparently, of 7 years. And there's a girl on the show named Morgan. And they're calling their relationship the Cheatmance. Usually they call it a showmance. This is a Cheatmance because he is so inappropriate with her. They aren't making out and doing stuff, but the level of intimacy they have, laying on pillows together, holding hands, hugging each other, rubbing each other's arms, it's crazy. And what's nuts to me is that the internet is coming for her. I'm like, Morgan is not in a relationship. Vince is. And if you watch the clips of the feeds, he's the one who's come lay in the bed with me. Hey, I'll do this with you. Come do this. And then behind her back keeps putting her in these vulnerable situations over and over and over again and then asking her for favors. I dislike him a lot.
Oh, he's insufferable. And the fact that people are coming for her.
Oh, yeah.
And the truth of the matter is okay. I mean, no judgment on the girl who's at home watching this, but my Lord, she's with a man who is still living with his parents at what age is this
34,
guy?
I think. Rachel made a comment about it to Morgan and it made Morgan mad. She's like, Are you really going to listen to someone who's 34 and lives with his parents? And I'm like, valid.
I mean, 100%.
But so anyway, a lot of the gameplay has gone out the door because none of them were going to be able to get Rachel out by themselves. And so they've relied on this stupid game that got her out. And now we're just watching them all, they sent Will home for what? All of it's just stupid now and I'm annoyed by it, but, I'm still watching it because I'm curious to see how the Cheatmance goes. But Vinny's girlfriend unfriended him and like basically publicly said that they are not together, and he still doesn't know and won't know.
That's the beauty. That is the beauty. This girl's sitting at home watching her man on the live feeds. That's another thing. It's like, I'm not watching the live feeds, but I've heard it's been absolutely preposterous.
Particularly this week.
Yeah.
Because Morgan's starting to spiral, like realizing that he's not as committed to her as she thought, because he's spending all this time with this like beautiful girl, Lauren, and he won't put her on the block, and it's a whole thing. So Big Brother, I don't know. This season has not been great, but that part of it is enough for me to keep watching.
And well, they have not so apparently coming up that they have not addressed it on the show flat out yet. They've like a couple people have said a few things, but this week Zingbot, which is my least favorite part of the show, which is this robot comes in and basically roasts the house guests, but it talks like a robot and it's really slow, so none of the jokes hit. Yeah. And it is the most annoying thing ever, but apparently Zingbot like really goes in hard on the Cheatmance, but goes in hard on Morgan. Yeah. Not on him. Well, of course, it's CBS. This freaking thing's owned by Les Moonves, who's like basically been accused of every single kind of bad thing a man can be accused of. And then his wife, Julie, who's the host of the show, is like, let go and let God. Yes. Or what is it? But first, God. Love one another. And the name of her memoir is But First, like she does on the show all the time. But it's like, but first, God. Okay, Julie. Enough, calm down. Julie. Relax. So anyway, that'll come back on Wednesday. We did catch up on Love is Blind. We did the UK, and we are just up to where all the couples have formed in the pods, and we have really different opinions about this. I hate the pods. I hate them so much. I think they are boring. I get confused about who's talking to who. I get sick. The stuff that people connect on, like, oh, you want 4 kids? I want 4 kids. Oh, your dad's name is Joe? My dad's name is Joe. I just am like, this is so stupid. It literally makes me want to make like a Rachel-shaped hole out my door. And so I could barely get through it. So you're going to have to. So before we jump in, I'd like to talk about the format as itself, like how you feel about the format. So the idea, for those of you who don't listen, I'm doing some of this because some of our listeners have spoken to me about explaining what the shows are that we're watching, even if they don't watch them, fair. That they could still enjoy. So in Love is Blind, you have I'd say probably about 25 people probably total in the house. I don't know. I think there's maybe more to start, but we only see a handful of the people who are actually on there. And they do it in specific cities. So everybody there lives in the same vicinity. Yeah. And so you have basically everyone lives on this massive soundstage, which is 2 quarters, guys' quarters, women's quarters. And then they date in pods. And in the pod, you're basically sitting on opposite sides of a scrim, like basically like a see-through or a non-see-through wall. So you can still talk to each other. You're in the same room, but you cannot see each other at all. And you'd go on dates all throughout the week, new people coming into the pods. You have to take notes because you don't have like visuals to remember the person with. So you're taking notes on the people that you're dating. And as you go through this time in the pods, you develop relationships. Often you'll have like 2 people that you begin to date more than others, and to narrow it down, typically people get to where they're with one person, and then if they choose to stay together, they will actually ask each other to get married before they ever see each other. Hence, and then they get to go. They once they ask them to marry them the next day or that day, they get to go get ready, and then the little thing slides up, and they see each other for the first time after getting engaged. Yeah. And so this has gone all kinds of ways in the past. There have been people who really fell in love with each other, and that thing opens up and one of them sees the other and they just call it off almost immediately because they're like, this person is ugly. There have been times where they got together, they thought they were like blown away by the way each other looks, and it just immediately stops working. There have been people who get dumped in the pod and then say, when you see both of us, you're going to choke. One of my all-time favorite lines. You will choke. This show has a lot This is why I love the pods, but I understand why Rachel doesn't.
It's boring. Well, and the people from the pods that they break up with, inevitably at like the parties about halfway through, after they've been like living with their partner for a while, they will see them. And so you'll hear them talk about like, oh, you're not my normal type. I'm really glad I did this. And then a person who they had been talking to, who is their quote normal type, will show up later in the season. And then they'll be like, oh, whoops, you know?
Nice. So what do you think about the form itself? Like, do you believe that Love is Blind is like a good way to, okay, tell me, explain.
I think people get way too vulnerable way too quickly with each other in there in a way, and it's based on things that are nonsensical to me. And then they see each other, and then that produces whatever like excitement, serotonin in their brains, and then they immediately go on vacation with each other so that they'll get in fights. I think you're just put in like this night. That would be like a nightmare torture chamber for me. I mean, just trying to like, and it works for some people. Like there are still some couples who are together, but most of them it doesn't work for. So I understand wanting to get like out of like the swiping on pictures and stuff, but I don't know.
I just don't know that. It goes back to something we've talked about on this podcast before, which is the intangibles, the way someone makes you feel, the way that they smell, the way that carry themselves, light up a room. Like like there's something about the swiping that, okay, like you're just judging off of what they look like, but there's intangibles of being in a room with somebody that could take somebody who you would see in a picture as a 5 and take them to a 7, an 8, maybe even a 9.
That's why I think like a house is more interesting. It's why things like Big Brother or places like that where people meet, those relationships actually tend to last longer than these like game shows. Rachel, the person we were just talking about from Big Brother, met her husband and they are still married with 2 children like 10, 12 years later. And I think like putting people in the general vicinity together and giving them like a task and having them all be single and knowing that like, you know, they used to do this with Bachelor Pad where like you could like circle up with people or you could like win a game and get money. Like there were all kinds of like little things. I think those tend to be more interesting because then you're getting like a vibe of like, how do people hang out around friends? How do people hang out around you? How do people like show out? How do they, you know what I mean? Like, also dating people in a vacuum is weird. Like,
oh, it's terrible. You don't see them with their family. You don't see them with their friends. And it's like what version of, and then like you get around their families and friends and they're, oh, you haven't seen this weird thing that they do. Oh, you haven't experienced them in this way. And it's like, oh, wow. Like it really
like
is
last
freaky.
season, that guy and his sister, he was obsessed with her in a way that was freakish. And then was like taking it out on this other poor girl. So yeah, I think it's a terrible idea, but I enjoy watching it and I'm happy for the people for whom it works. But I just don't see how it's something that's going to work for a broad swath of people. Some people are lucky.
I did discover something through watching this season that I did not know about, and that is this whole human design thing.
Oh, yeah.
So there's this one guy, let me see, what is his name? Patrick. So Patrick, and he's like super into, he describes himself as basically like a human design coach. And I'm like, what does that mean? And Rachel was telling me it's sort of like, kind of like a cross between like astrology and like other different, like modalities when it comes to like personality tests or whatever. And he talks about being a splenic. And I'm like, what is a splenic? And it's like, it's basically like you listen to your spleen, which essentially means that you listen to like the very first whisper of a gut instinct, not fully your gut, like the very first instinct you have about a person or a decision or whatever. I have looked up my human design. I am a splenic. And
I'm a sacral.
So I've been like struggling with this thought of like, trusting my initial reaction to anything and just kind of going with it and like, where does that lead me?
Do you feel better doing it? Because one of the things that it said on yours was that if you don't trust it, that you spiral. And one thing we know about you is that you have OCD and you tend to just like focus and spiral on something that you don't really have control over. So I'm curious if knowing this or like thinking this has helped you in the last week.
Well, I'm trying it out. I'm
Okay.
trying it out. Not bought hook, line, and sinker, but I am
Sure.
trying it. So I don't think I have enough data yet, but we'll let you know. Well, the splenic thing's not going anywhere. We're going to be diving into this human design stuff.
Well, mine was really interesting too, because it said that it's sacral, which is a gut reaction, but it's also like not trying to plan things out and see, like, one of my fatal flaws is that I get stuck in the how for things. If I feel like I can't tangibly like hold on to things, like I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, it's difficult for me to get started. And I start overthinking and like overexerting myself. And mine was like, that is not your job. Your job is to ride the wave. Like, things will happen to you and come to you that are so shocking and out of left field. And how you ride those is like what makes things work. And I was like, oh my God, that is absolutely my life. The weirdest, most out of left field things happen to me. And I'm like, sure, okay.
Well,
but it takes like the pressure off a little.
No, I think that, I mean, I'll just be honest, like, since looking at astrology and since looking at these different things that are based on like birth time, and like when I look at those things, I have to admit that when I look deeply into them, not just a cursory look over, that they seem so unbelievably real.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, I will take truth where I find it.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most interesting parts of the show, as it relates to the show, is that Patrick and this girl, Anu, are like dating one another inside the pods. And he's talking about his connection to spirituality and his, like, the human design stuff. And she's talking about like her version of like Christianity, which seems like some sort of conservative version of Christianity.
Yeah.
And to see him talk so, honestly, which is so strange what I'm about to say, so humbly about his approach to spirituality and how this has affected him and how he's able to see other people's perspectives and stuff. And then see how she's like, well, I need my husband to be humble, and I need him to be like a servant leader, and I need him to sacrifice and all this stuff. And Patrick being like, oh, I hear what you're saying, but like, I don't think that I need to be humble. Like, I think it actually, like, I think I should know what my strengths are and play upon those and think about those. And she was like, I want you to be a servant leader. And he's like, what? I don't even know what that means. Like I want to be with you. I want to be partnered with you. I want to be working together on things. Like, I want, like, reciprocity and, what would the word be? Like egalitarianism within our relationship. And
she was struggling to not have like an over under. We're like, you're the leader, but you serve me. And he was like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. And it's just so interesting to see how people's values and stuff are just not aligned, and how she was almost pushing to try to make them align. And he was just so sure, like, this is not a thing.
Yeah.
And I think
trusted his spleen, and he was right.
And I've seen that even in my own life, where you like try to make things work that are just not serving you, and where it leads you. And it always leads to a bad space.
I mean, you could get hit by a car. That's what happened to me.
I love that.
It's so true. Out of nowhere.
There are also a lot of talk in the pods always about type. Right?
Oh,
like
my God.
Like out in the real world, like, what is your type? And obviously, most of the time we're talking about, like, I think people are talking about like the style of body or the style of look that I want. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, I think there actually is language that could be used in type that actually makes sense. Like, I like someone who is like more dominant. I like someone who is more submissive. I think honestly, in some ways,
ambitious.
Like, I think some of those things actually could solidify type. Like, if like, say on Hinge you had under a section called type, it's like, I'm looking for someone who has these qualities, not these looks. But on the show, it's always like, you're not my type. And it's like, oh, so you don't find me attractive?
Yeah.
Or wouldn't normally find me attractive? Like, it's just
weird.
I find that very strange. Yeah.
Like,
we were both saying this last night.
I have been attracted to so many different types of people. For me, it has always been like confidence, kindness, and humor. If people have like that particular thing, like, I find that really attractive. And I don't know. There are men that I find attractive, but I can tell you one thing. You give me 5 minutes in a room with them, I'm going to get the ick. Like before I could make a move, I'd get an ick.
I would say my type is like assertive.
Yeah.
Like knows what they want. But also like has kindness. You know what I mean? Has empathy, but I like strong.
You're
like
very
empathy.
attracted to strong women.
I like strong empathetic reactions, like protective.
Oh, that's a good word for it.
You know what I mean? Like my level of empathy is I stand up for my friends, or I'm like extremely loyal, or I'll fight you if you come after my people. Like that is very attractive to me.
Yeah, I can see that because you are so like aware of everyone's feelings that to be
very
around
watery. I need the groundedness.
You need the groundedness of someone who's pretty protective of their peace and of their friends.
Because I'm not protective of my peace. I'm protective of my friends.
You are, but you are not protective of your peace. And no. I am just like, I am not doing anything that I don't want to do. It never works out for me. In fact, it's always really bad.
I won't allow you to do it anymore because it's impacted me so negatively watching you do things you don't want to do and how you immediately suffer, and it makes me suffer.
Well, and people, I feel like when we're talking about it like this, people think that I'm joking or that I'm being hyperbolic. I quite literally am not. When I do things that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make myself do this. I really don't want to. I have a gut feeling that I shouldn't be doing this, but this will make this person feel better or whatever. And I do it. I get physically injured. Someone says or does something, like literally things go off the rails every time. Like it is actually crazy.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like anytime I've watched you do something that you originally said you didn't want to do, like it has brought nothing but suffering and derision.
Yeah. Yeah. So now when I'm like, I don't want to, you're like, great.
Great.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Not happening.
I won't allow it. Like I really don't want to do this, but I think I'm going to. I'm like, don't do it.
It's not worth it.
Do not do it. It's not.
I'll get hit. I'll get killed. I gotta be careful.
No, I really believe that.
Well, I do want to talk about the Emmys briefly before we hop off.
Okay.
Because I thought it was like the things that stood out to me, and you can tell me what stood out to you. Adolescents taking home a good sweep. That show is so prescient for like what we're dealing with right now. And if you have not watched it, absolutely a must watch.
That was like a painful show for me. Like I don't look back on it as something I want to rewatch or even something that I even enjoyed while watching it. I acknowledge its prescience and like, quality and cinematography and all that, but it was a painful watch.
Well, it's real. And like having taught and having seen that, like I taught high school for 13 years, having seen what's happening specifically with young boys online in their rooms. And one line from it has really stuck with me where like the parents of the boy who does something bad are like, we thought he was safe. He was just in his room. But he wasn't, because he had the internet, he had the phone, and he was doing like all the stuff that they just had no clue about.
Well, everybody's in there. When your kid has a phone or a computer, the whole world is in that room.
It's so scary. I would not let my kids, I would be psychotic about the internet. I would not give them a cell phone with like an iPhone or something. One
thing that my mind has changed on as I've gotten older, and maybe this is just wisdom and maybe this is just fear, but I remember like growing up and hearing that like the kind of, or like the word in the like late 90s, early 2000s was like the kind of media that you consume, it like has an effect on you. And I'd be like, oh, that's nonsense, you know, because then it was music and movies and these kind of things. And like, oh, well, if you watch these movies, it's going to affect you negatively. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, man, like the media and especially the social media that we consume definitely has an impact on your views, on your worldview, on
how
all
you treat
these
people.
things. Yeah. And it goes back to this whole thing of like, you know, I definitely have a worldview. I definitely have a worldview of my own. But what you allow in,
it will come out.
It will come out. And it will like, so I think like the idea of questioning all of the places that you're getting stuff from. Like, I'm not against that idea. A lot of people who don't question any of the stuff that they take in say, you should question your sources, blah, blah, blah. No, like, you really need to be questioning everything that you're taking in, especially if it's coming out of your phone at you.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I love, Noah Weil. That man.
Noah Wiley.
Oops. Well, he is my crush. I haven't had like a crush on a star in so long because, again, I'm a personality girl.
Yep.
Him,
He's
all day,
doing
every
it for
day.
you.
He could get it. I'm telling you, I think he is so hot. I love The Pit and I love ER. And I thought he was so cute when he was young. And I think he's so hot now.
I'm so glad that they won. Like, I mean, the work that they've put into that show to make it so realistic and stuff, like I'm very excited for the new season as well.
I know. I am absolutely stoked. And then the last thing about the Emmys was Seth Rogen sweeping.
Oh, I'll say if you have not seen the the studio, every episode is absolutely incredible. The cinematography, everything about it. Like, I've never seen a comedy show that's that artistic, and so definitely check that out.
I didn't watch it. I like getting these weird moods where I can't watch stuff, and it was like so much going on that I couldn't keep up with it. But I'm going to go back and watch it. The last thing I wanted to tell you, did you see? I don't think our friends even know that you despise this person inexplicably, or not despise her, but you think she's super unattractive, which is literally insane to me. Hilary Duff is returning with an album.
Great. And no shade on Hilary Duff. It's just like, honestly, what makes me upset about it is just like people see her and I'm like, well, I'm just not attracted to her. And people are like, what's wrong with you?
You monster.
You monster. And I'm like,
well,
it's
I have
not
to say
that
it's troubling for me as like also a petite blonde woman to be like, oh, my husband finds this petite blonde woman hideous.
I don't find her hideous.
Brandon, you literally said the other day that you thought she was hideous, which is crazy.
Hideous is strong. If I said that, which I'm not going to say I didn't say it because I don't remember.
One thing about you, you're not going to remember. I don't have to hide anything from you. I could surprise you and have it out in front of you. And you'd be like, never knew. I could have told you 3 times.
I want to be clear. This is not I don't think that Hilary Duff is
conventionally attractive,
or even like, I think she deserves to any kind of derision because of the way she looks. This has nothing to do with it. It's just like, I'm attracted to people that most, I think, people would say are not conventionally attractive or not attractive at all.
So would you rather be with Helen Mirren or Hilary Duff?
Helen Mirren, by a long shot.
Yeah, that's not going to be a normal answer,
I would
buddy.
Jump at that opportunity.
Easy. All right. I feel like you're getting like all horned up in there.
I'm not getting horned up. I can't believe
you saw her Uber Eats commercial.
Oh, I love that Uber Eats commercial. She's in that robe, just waiting on the food.
Oh my God, Brandon. Oh my God. They're going to put you on a list.
Okay, well.
All right. Well, I think that does it, y'all. Again, we beg, we plead. Get on there and tell everyone how funny we are and how amazing. And leave us a review. Leave us a little snark. We're happy to read it. And
please.
I don't even know how to check that. So you're going to have to show me how to check that. Another thing I'm thinking about doing is on the Substack, I'm going to start writing again and releasing some like little updates during the week. I tried to do it yesterday and I couldn't log in. So I'm going to have to figure that one out. But yeah, follow us on YouTube, Instagram. I don't know if TikTok's sticking around or not. We'll see. And hopefully we will talk to you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.